Hey beautiful people, we are currently in Hanoi, Vietnam.
Woo! How we got here and why coming up. Hello beautiful people, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. For those of you that are here for the first time, thanks for watching.
Leah and I recently put up our first YouTube video about our life abroad. We had such a great time making that video, but we had even more fun living the life that inspired that video. In fact, many of you have responded so well to that video that we've decided to take those questions you posed, either in the comment section or in private messages, and make a video about those. So, here we go.
You are over 40 and you just started living abroad. Why now?
Why not now? If not now, then when? Actually, the age question is rather valid. I've been trying to get abroad for some 7+ years, and I don't think that my age really should have anything to do with living a life that I want to live. So being over 40 doesn't matter. Why now? Well, I finally got tired of trying to live a conventional lifestyle, and I emphasize trying. So now I'm out and about and living abroad.
My answer is really simple. I stopped buying into the American dream. I got the college education, I got the house, the corporate job that allotted me just 1 week of vacation, and I love to travel, and being at this job would not allow me to do that. So I made a change. We also often get asked, how did you end up where you are?
Currently we are in Hanoi, Vietnam, but my journey overseas started in South Korea. So I had to transition from the US to South Korea. And this is how I did it. I took the first job I could find. I bought the cheapest plane ticket, I packed my bags, threw up the deuces, and I was out.
Okay, so unlike my type A, outgoing, dive in with both feet first counterpart here, I did not have that luxury. There were other things that I needed to consider, mainly how I was going to be treated with my skin color. I did maybe 6 months worth of research. I looked at Facebook, other people's journeys. I looked at vlogs. I looked at blogs. I read a lot about the political climate and the economic climate before I made my decision. Took me a little bit longer.
That's how you ended up in Korea.
And that's how I ended up in Korea.
Where we met.
Here's a question that we also get asked a lot. How do you afford this travel lifestyle?
First of all, and this is a very important distinction, we are not just traveling, we are living abroad. Now that does make traveling easier, but we are not on vacation, we are not on extended holiday, we are not independently wealthy. Student loans, I'll get back at you at some point. We had to go out and get a job. Now, we currently work as ESL instructors, and that is a very, very common job for expats to have, but it is not the only way for you to feed and shelter yourself.
So the job that you're doing right now, see if there's an opening abroad. There are openings here for web designers, freelance writers, tour guides, tutors, English teachers. There is something out there for everyone. You just need to find what's available to you.
Something else that I hear a lot when I'm talking about my life abroad is people saying, you're so courageous, you're so brave. And I'm always taken aback by that because I see myself living a life that I've wanted to live for such a long time that I seem to have forgotten. There was a point where I was too afraid to get up, get out, and get gone. I wasn't ready. I had to convince myself. I had to embrace the uncertainty of what was out there. And I suppose in those moments, that was an act of courage. Maybe I was being brave in that moment. So I'm working on trying to not be so distant when people make that kind of comment to me. People ask you if you're brave or courageous?
They do, but I hear it from a different perspective. So I hear, you're so brave because Black people don't travel. Hello, that's obviously not true. I'm not gonna say that this lifestyle doesn't have its own specific challenges because it does. I cannot stress enough how many times in both Vietnam and Korea where I'm often the first Black person that people have seen either in the flesh or have spoken to in person. These interactions allow me to challenge misconceptions that they have grown up with. We all live in Africa. No, we don't all listen to rap music. Nope, we are not all uneducated. So for some of these statements, people can really be offended by them, or you can use it as an opportunity for growth. I don't necessarily see this as being brave, but I do appreciate the love and support that I get from my family for being able to step out into this unknown.
I know there are a lot of you that want to make some kind of major change in your life, and maybe it's just to travel more. Americans, please travel more. But I do know that some of you specifically want to relocate and live abroad. And you need to know this. This is very important. You can live abroad with debt. You can live abroad with family. And you most certainly can live abroad over the age of 40. I mean, really. Come on.
I think that those of you that feel something for this are watching this video for a reason. And no one understands more than us that change can be scary. It can be really daunting. But what's even more unsettling is the possibility that you may have convinced yourself of complacency instead of pursuing what ifs. What if you went back and got that college degree? What if you asked for that raise that you know that you deserve? What if you relocated to another city? Or what if you started researching traveling abroad? So the other thing that we want to make sure that we reiterate is that you are not alone in this process. You are not the first person to contemplate making a change in your life. That is one of the reasons that we are doing these videos. If you want to live abroad, there are resources. There are people on Facebook. There are people on Instagram. We welcome your comments and questions, anything that you can use to keep you inspired.
Leah's right. There are many social media platforms out there that can actually be tools for interacting with people who are on the go right now, people that are living abroad. Consider us. Comment in the video below, like, get a dialogue started between us, between other people who are living abroad. Check out Facebook groups that support the very country or city that you might be interested in living in. Make sure you get the information that you need, and then come join us out here in the world. It's a big, beautiful place. I want to see you in it.
Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on our next video.
Coming up soon.